hello, welcome. Good to be here with you. Life is short. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy ourselves. And let's actually make meditation an enjoyable experience, not a job or this endless optimization, all that. There's a lot of biohacking, which is great, or an optimization, always looking to make myself better, more optimized, more focused, more productive. But you are a human being. You are here to enjoy. You are here to grow, to open, to experience, to awaken your consciousness, not just to become the best version of yourself like an optimized robot. So if you're someone who's always optimizing, put that aside for today. Why don't we just let ourselves be in this present moment and have the experience of reality? And the present moment is the doorway into reality. If you're asking, looking around, going, David, where is the doorway to reality? It is in this present moment. That is the portal, the doorway into reality and out of your head. Okay? Your consciousness could still be here, centralized, but you can experience reality by stepping into this moment. And there's this beautiful quote that I love from Eckhart Tolle. And he said, most humans live exclusively through anticipation and or memory. I'll say that again. It's from Eckhart Tolle. Most human beings live exclusively through anticipation and or memory. So we're either projecting into the future or we're reflecting into the past. And this present moment is something that just passes us by. It's a means to another end. It's always a means to another end. Even meditating becomes a means to an end. I'm going to become a calm person. I'm going to achieve enlightenment, right? I'm going to find my answer to the future. The present moment always just becomes a means to an end. So if you're someone that makes everything a means to another end, then you're probably also a stressed or anxious person. Because if you use the present moment always to create the future, and never to just be here, then you will cause anxiety because the nature of your being is to be present. And then we find ourselves in a bit of a paradox. How do I create a beautiful future if I'm just in this moment? And that answer is something I want you to explore and find for yourself through meditation. The closer you come to the truth, the more of a paradox it tends to be. Yeah. Someone said I need to make my volume louder. Anybody else? Or you might just check your settings. Yeah. Check your internal settings too. How is your weather? How is your internal weather today? Yes, it's hot in a lot of places on the planet, including Colorado, Boulder, where I am. But on the inside, how are your settings? How do you feel? So let's start as we're chatting, saying hello to that. Just acknowledge how you feel. You don't have to change anything. Even with your eyes open, just sitting with me, sitting with this beautiful group, just acknowledging how you feel and where your energy is today. Is your energy high? Is it low? Is it somewhere in the middle? Do you feel optimistic about your life or pessimistic or blah? That's a scientific word, blah. B-L-E-H. If that's how you feel, it's okay, David. Are you in apathy? Are you in a sense of anticipation? Just notice where your energy is today. And if there's any judgment on that or need to control it or even a need to change it, maybe you could just let that be too. Just your constant need to change your inner state. There's this poem I brought today that I want to read, very, very short. It's not a poem, it's a proverb. And I believe it's a Serbian proverb. And it goes like this. 2 men looked through bars. One saw mud, the other stars. I love that. I'll say it again. 2 men looked through bars. One saw mud, the other stars. It's beautiful. So a lot of us, we look at this present moment and we go, bleh, Meh. It's all right. Right? It's okay. Could be better. And I'm going to use this moment to make a future one better. And if you've been doing that your whole life and you're not there yet, well, then maybe we need to inspect your strategy. Right? I love that. Two men looked through bars. One saw mud, the other stars. And there's this quote one of my students reminded me of from Einstein, that either everything is a miracle or nothing. And we get to choose which way we want to live. And if you're really in this moment, if you step through the doorway, the portal into this moment, then you will notice that everything is a miracle. Everything. And if you don't see that, then there's probably a filter of negativity somewhere in your being. And you might want to start to shed that. Part of the way we do that is through meditating. How are you today, David? That's how I feel. My mother said I was born with a happy disposition, and I was giggling and laughing since I was born. And so I am lucky in the sense that I was wired a little bit more towards the positive. And so I do feel more positive on average, maybe. But I know not everyone is born that way. Not everyone had a good childhood. Not everyone feels that way when they wake up. And so we can shift that energy as we meditate. And yes, there is a lot of suffering in the world, as someone was just noting. There has been a lot of suffering in the world every day. If you go back the last 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 5,000 and 10,000 years. And there probably will be going forward in the future too. And how to live in a world that has suffering is the great question. One of the questions I think the Buddha asked himself when he decided to leave his palace and go off into the forest and meditate. Right? And so if suffering, and human suffering in particular, is something that haunts you and bothers you a lot, then meditating and being in the moment is even more important, because as you transform yourself, then you can go out into the world with that consciousness and make a real shift, and your intentions will have more power. So if you want to heal the suffering in the world, my suggestion is heal the suffering in yourself and then share that transformation however your intuition comes forth through you with the world. So people who don't heal themselves and try to fix the world tend to break it more because they're not changed. And so their energy touches the world and their negativity infects the world. So if you're a really negative, stuck person, if you feel like you're in a lot of pain, then my suggestion would be to heal yourself first and then share that healing with the world. Yeah. Two men looked through bars. One saw mud, the other stars. I love that. I love that. And let's start to get into meditation here in a moment and set our intention for the week. There's this Zen saying that I also wanted to share. Open your mouth and you're wrong. That goes for all the men. Just kidding. Zen saying, open your mouth and you're wrong. And what that means is that reality is not what you think. And meditation, as the saying goes, is not what you think. Even if you have the most positive thought that's ever been thought, that is still a thought. And so as we meditate, we allow any positive thought, any negative thought to pass. And that's how we start to become present. So we don't kind of Velcro on or attach to any thought that passes. This is the foundation of meditating. If you can't do that, you don't actually necessarily want to move forward to setting an intention or creating a vision of what you want to create, because you're in the old kind of unconscious consciousness, if that makes some sense. And what I mean by unconscious consciousness is that any thought, any story, any image that passes in your mind's eye, you see it, you believe it, you lock onto it, and you lose yourself. And if you're losing yourself in that way, it's hard to be grounded, present, and set a real intention. So first, we allow ourselves to recognize the space between consciousness and thought. There's a difference between those two. There's awareness and then the images and the thoughts that pass through that awareness. And then when we could sit and stabilize in that and realize that, then we can consciously create or uncover a deeper image or thought that comes from the heart that has real meaning. It's very often a needle in a haystack of noise, but it has a different quality to it, a different energy. When you really hear your inner voice versus all the noise, when you really find your inner vision versus all the images you've absorbed from the external world, when you really touch something that's deep and true inside yourself, it has a different energetic quality. And as we meditate, we learn to use our mind's eye, our ability to have insight and see, hear, and know that truth. And then that's when we could set a real intention, when we're in touch with that. And then that intention can manifest out into the world. But we do it with a sense of presence, not a sense of, I need to get this. I need my life to change. If you're in that anxious energy, that's what you're going to put into that vision, into that intention, and out into the world. So again, a bit of a paradox of when we feel present and complete, that's usually when we can manifest. So, and meditation itself is a paradox. You are, as you discover who you are, you also kind of realize you're nothing and everything. Okay? So every time you get closer to a truth, you should sense this intuitive sense of a paradox. And why is it that way? I don't know. I didn't create the universe. That's just my own experience, but you find out for yourself. So let's, with our time together today, let's go into meditation. Let's ground it in intention, and let's set it for this week and start to live it. Because if you don't, life will pull you in whatever direction the current is going, in whatever direction the gravitational pull is based on the people around you. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of anxious, future-obsessed people, and you're not setting a clear intention, if you're not energetically having your own space, then you'll get pulled in that direction too, right? Some people, they read or watch the news, that pulls them into anxiety. Some folks, it's all about family drama, that pulls them into anxiety. Some people, it's all work, that pulls them, right? It's very easy to be pulled by other people's unconsciousness and other people's negativity and other people's intentions. So it takes a formidable force of intention and presence to not be pulled. What forces tend to pull you the most in the past days and weeks? So there's internal forces and there are external forces. And my question really to you at this moment was, what are some of the external forces that have been pulling on you, that you've allowed to pull on you in some sense? And when the world pulls on us, it's usually because we are not very conscious. We lose ourselves to the energies of the world, right? And we need to engage with the world, but we don't need to let the world decide the path of our soul. So let's take it back. Let's take back our power, our energy, and the direction of our lives. And how do we do that, David? Easier said than done. Oh, sorry, we're out of time. Next time I'll tell you the how. Imagine I just get up, I walk out of the room. Go have a latte. Was I saying something? Anyway. The secret to the universe is, I have to sneeze. Here we go. Loosen up those shoulders. Maybe if there's a little tension in your jaw, you could, under your ears, the temples, maybe tap the top of your head, say hello to your heart, whatever needs a little waking up today. Yeah. Go. Just move around a little bit if you need to. Shake off some of that external energy of the world. Yeah. And maybe put down solving the suffering of every person in your life for a moment, just for a second. You can pick it back up right when we're done if you want to. But just for right now, as you're sitting with me with this beautiful group of people in every corner of this round planet, just put down that need to fix, solve, and heal every person in suffering around you. just for a moment. Just for a moment. And just reorient your energy towards yourself with me. Just right here, into your body and the field around your body. Just reorient your awareness, your energy, your intention into your body and the field around your body. And just let everyone else just be for now. Just for now. Okay? Let's see how that feels. So the only thing you're focused on is what's here. It's right here. And our body is the portal that we can use into the moment. So through our sense perceptions, feeling, taste, touch, vision, even the awareness of the space around us, that is how we step into the moment. So the moment is always here. It's an invitation that's always open. And when we come back to this moment, there's always almost like a sigh of relief. It's like, oh, that's right. I can be here. No matter what is happening in the external world, I could still be here. Just notice that shift with me for a moment. Here we are. Maybe we don't go anywhere. Just here we are. Right? And going back to that Zen saying, open your mouth and you're wrong. Just be here without the commentary. Here we go. And that other saying from Zen that I love, enlightenment is not having anxiety over imperfection.